take this off.
Hope y'all heard me. You're gonna throw a curveball first. Gotta be in the zone. Ain't nothing else.
Too much sun on me.
Testing 1 2 3 4. 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 And hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Aldine, Texas, between today's matchup between Davis High School and Eisenhower. As it's an 0-1 count, here's the pitch. And that's in there for strike two as the count's 0-2. Here's the payoff. And that's low, 1-2. And that's high. Count goes even. On the mound for the Eagles, or for the Falcons, is number 7, Julian Scott. And that's grounded. Pitcher has it, though the first is in time for out number 1, and that's 1 away. As I'll bring up number 1 to the plate, here's the pitch. And that gets past him, as that'll be a ball. Here's the 0-1. And that's outside. Here's a 2-0. That's low and outside. Counts 3-0. Here's the pitch. And that's in there for a strike right down the middle. Here's the 3-1. And swing and a miss for strike two. Scott back into the count. And right down the middle, strike three, and that's two away. As I'll bring up number 23, Nicholas Thomas. Plays in the infield, and also a right-handed pitcher. One of the captains for the Eagles. Here's the pitch from Scott. That's a curveball. That's a dribbler, and going to be fouled. As counts 0-1. Scott is ready. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss. That's strike two. Elevated fastball. Oh, 2 count. Here's the pitch. And right on the edge. Called the ball. Just outside. As the count will go to 1-2. Here's the pitch. And that's a changeup in the dirt. Count goes even at 2-2. And that's popped in the air in foul territory. And it's out of play. As Thomas will stay alive with the 2-2 count. As Nicholas will step back into the box. Scott is ready. Here's the pitch. And elevated fastball up high. As it'll be a full count at 3-2. And that's popped, fouled back, and out of play. Thomas staying alive. And outside ball 4 as Thomas will take his base. It'll be 1 on with 2 outs for the Eagles. As I'll bring up number 10 for the Eagles. One on with 2 outs for the Eagles. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss for strike 1. Here's the 0-1. And that's low, gets past him. As the runner will go to second. And the Eagles will have a runner in scoring position. Thomas gets a second. As the count be 1-1. And foul back. Good hack as it's 1-2. Scott is ready. Looks back. Here's the pitch. And that's grounded. Second baseman has it. Throw the first is in time for out number 3. As we'll head to the bottom of the first, still scoreless. As the Falcons will come up the bat as we'll be right back here on Vype Live. And we're here at the bottom of the first, no score between Eisenhower and Davis. Thomas on the mound for the Eagles. Here's a 2-2, swing and a miss for strike 3, and that's one away. And that's a fly ball in the right field, and that's going to go out of play and foul. As will be the pitcher, Julian Scott, at the plate for the Falcons of Davis. As counts 0-1. Here's a pitch from Thomas, and that's a curveball outside. Counts 1-1. As it's a beautiful day here in Aldine, Texas. Here's the pitch, and outside. As I'll make it a 2-1 count. As the Davis Falcons stand at 6-13 and 1 on the season, 3-5 in district play. Two-one count to Scott, and that's hit hard into left field, and he'll get on for a single. As that one got past the third baseman Garcia. As will be Scott on first, 1 on and 1 out for the Eagles. And it's going to be called a balk as Scott will take his base at second for the Falcons. As it's the Eisenhower Eagles and the Davis Falcons. And that's in there for a strike. As I'll make the count 0-1. As Eisenhower stands at 3-19, 0-8. As that's a wild pitch, as Scott will make his way to third. It'll be a runner in scoring position for Davis with 1 out on a 1-1 count. And softly grounded. Scott coming towards home. Throw the first and no throw. And he's going to be safe. And that'll be an RBI error. As the Falcons now lead it 1-0 over the Eagles. As Davis brings out the scoring sombrero for the first run of the game. As it's 1-0 with 1 on and 1 out, and that curveball is in there for a strike. As that brings up Jacob Guerrero to the plate. And check at first, no tag. As the count's 0-1, here's the pitch. And curveball in there for a strike. No throw to first. Here's the 0-2. And swing and a miss for strike 3. Strikeout number 2 for Thomas. Here's the pitch. That's low. Runner goes to second. No throw. As that's a stolen base for Cruz Flores. As it's Francisco Macias at the plate for the Falcons. And swinging a miss for strike 1 with the fastball. And that's low. Gets past the catcher. Runner going to third. And he'll hold up. Another runner in scoring position for the Falcons. Thomas is ready. Here's the pitch. And curveball falls just high. Hitters count at 3-1. And that's high, ball 4. And there'll be runners in the corners with 2 outs. And I'll bring up number 8 to the plate. And that's high, runner goes to second, no throw.
We need a run, baby. We need a run. Lock in. Lock in. Lock in. Breathe. Tie down.
And that's low, 2-0. And that'll be a 3-0 count with 2 outs. And that's in there for a strike. That'll make it 3-1. And that's in there for strike 2. Thomas fights back in the count. Here's the pitch. And that's high, ball 4, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That's high, 1-0. And that's in there for a strike. Counts at 1-1. And swing and a miss for strike 2. Thomas 1 pitch away from getting out of a jam. Bases loaded, no outs. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss, strike 3. As Thomas strikes out the side. A runner will score as the Falcons lead it 1-0. As we'll head to the top of the second here on Vype Live.
Radar in the back. Yeah.
And back here on Vype Live as Davis leads it 1-0 over Eisenhower. As it's now 2-0 count. Here's a pitch from Scott as it's popped and hits the fence in foul territory. That's counts 0-2. Here's the pitch. And that's grounded. And that finds a cap into the outfield. And that'll be a single for Eisenhower. That's how's Rico Glenn with the base hit. That's how bring up first baseman Dominic Juarez. Looking to bunt. Here's the pitch from Scott. And right down the middle for strike one. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss for strike two with the fastball. As counts 0-2. And swing and a miss, strike three. Here's a throw to first. As he gets back on the bag, as that's another strikeout for Scott. And that'll be one away. So I'll bring up Bryce Nelson. Center fielder for the Eagles. Here's a pitch from Scott. And that's on the inside for strike one, the fastball. And swing and a miss for strike two. Scott ahead in the count. And that's high, 1-2. And that's in there for strike three. That's two away. 2 outs, 2 strikeouts for Scott. As I'll bring up number 6, Ariel Villa to the plate. Here's the pitch, and that hits him. And up put runners on first and second with 2 outs for Eisenhower. Runner in scoring position. And I'll bring up second baseman. I'll actually bring up the catcher, Rodney Gamble, to the plate.
They still need one, Davis. Y'all got to talk it up.
2 runners on with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And that's outside. Here's the 1-0, and swing and a miss for strike one. And that's right down the middle at the knees for strike two. Scott ahead in the count. Here's 1-2. And swing and a miss for strike 3 as Scott follows Thomas and strikes out the side. And we'll head to the bottom of the second as the Falcons still lead it 1-0. As we'll be right back here on Vype Live. And we are back here on Vype Live as Davis leads it 1-0 over Eisenhower. As that pitch is high, 1-0. As Julian Scott struck out the side at the top of the second. Thomas back on the mound for work for Eisenhower, and that's in there for a strike. As Thomas struck out the side at the bottom of the first. And that hits him. As Adam Ramirez will take his base. And Ramirez will have a courtesy runner. As it'll be Cesar Otero. Now at first. As I'll bring up Murphy to the plate. And that's dribbled foul. And actually on first base is Braxton. Has the numbers on the roster sheet. It's just numbered 1 through 9. I was looking at the wrong numbers. And checks at first as he gets back on the base. As it's Murphy at the plate. Here's a pitch and a bunt attempt and bunted foul. As count will go to 0-2. As Kraut getting into it here in Aldine, Texas. Here at Benjamin Davis High School, here's a pitch. And that gets past him. Braxton will go to second, and he'll get there easily. As Davis will have a runner in scoring position and no outs. As the count will go to 1-2. As Rodney Gamble is going to talk with this pitcher. Murphy back in the box, counts 1-2. Thomas looks at second. Here's a pitch with a curveball, and it's in there for strike 3, and that's 1 away. Strikeout number 4 of the game for Thomas. And it's only the second inning. Here's the pitch. And that's popped and fouled back. As counts 0-1. Here's the pitch from Thomas, and that's high. And the count will go to 1-1. And right down the middle for strike 1, the fastball. Thomas goes ahead in the count at 1-2. And umpire calls time for the pitch. Count still 1-2. Runner on second, just 1 out. Thomas looks at second. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that's strikeout number 5 for Thomas. Five outs, 5 strikeouts for the big right-hander. Looks back at second. Here's a pitch that's high. And it'll be the pitcher Julian Scott to the plate. Here's a 1-0, that's low. And that's in there for a strike with a slider. Looks back at second. Here's a pitch. And swing and a miss for strike 2. Counts even. Runner going to third. That's grounded. And I believe that's going to be out number 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Thomas, as the Eagles trying to runner at second. As the third out came on a ground ball, hit the runner. As we'll head to the top of the third, as Davis still leads it 1-0. As we welcome you back to Vype Live, as Davis leads it 1-0 over Eisenhower here at the top of the third. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Fastball by Julian Scott. And that's a fly ball fouled away. As Scott goes ahead in the count at 0-2. And just outside, counts 1-2. And that's way inside. Counts even at 2-2. Leadoff hitter Gordon Vasquez at the plate, the shortstop. Here's a 2-2, and that's high. As he'll make the count full. And that's lifted and fouled. As it's kind of hard to see the ball go up in the air, as everyone in the stands is in the shade and you still got the sun on the field. As the ball just blends in with the sun. Especially no clouds in the sky. As counts full at 3-2, here's the pitch from Scott. And that's a fly ball in the left field. And he's there for out number 1 to make the catch. That's how Cesar Otero on the catch. One away for Eisenhower. So I'll bring up Ruben Garcia, third baseman. Here's the pitch, and that's high. And right down the middle with the fastball for strike one. Here's the 1-1, and it's inside. And inside and high. Count goes to 3-1. Hitters count for Garcia. And swing and a miss. Count goes full from the fastball from Scott. Struck out the side last inning. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss for strike three. And it's two away. And I'll bring up the pitcher, Nick Thomas. Currently has 5 strikeouts on the mound. Two away for Eisenhower. See if Thomas can help his own cause. And that one's hit hard in the right field. And that's going to go foul. Big hack from Nick Thomas. And it's an 0-1 count. As we resume play. Here's the 0-1 to Thomas. And right down the middle for strike two. Scott ahead in the count. Here's the pitch. And that's the low. As counts 1-2. And it's in the dirt with the off speed. Counts even at 2-2. And that's hit hard down the third base line into the outfield. And that'll be a single for Nick Thomas. It'll be 1 on with 2 outs for Eisenhower. As I got past Cruz Flores. Two-out single for Thomas. As I bring up Luis Abrego to the plate. Here's the pitch from Scott. That's going to be a swing and a miss for strike one. And that's high. As will be Chris Baker, the courtesy runner for Nick Thomas at first. And that's fouled back. And the count will go to 1-2. As Abrego gets back into the box, here's a 1-2. And swing and a miss for strike 3. And once again, Julian Scott strikes out the side as we'll head to the bottom of the third as Davis still leads it 1-0 over Eisenhower. One nothing Davis High School here at the bottom of the third over Eisenhower. Nick Thomas back on the mound for his third inning of work. 5 strikeouts on the game for Thomas. Here's the 0-1. And that's high. Gets past the catcher on the wild pitch. As would be the third baseman, Cruz Flores, at the plate. That's the count to 1-1. Here's a 1-1. And that's low, gets past the catcher, goes to the backstop. As that'll make it 2-1. And curveball in the dirt. Hitters count the Cruz. Here's a 3-1. And that's grounded. Right to Thomas. And to flip the first for out number 1. And I'll bring up the first baseman, Jacob Guerrero, to the plate. Thomas is ready. Here's the pitch. And that's high, 1-0. And right down the middle for strike one with the fastball. And that's a high fly ball in the left field. And that is going to carry foul. Hard hit ball by Guerrero as it gets caught in the wind and hooks foul. As I make the count 1-2. As Guerrero thought he got all of that one back in the box for a 1-2 count. Here's a pitch from Thomas. And hits that one to the right side, foul. As counts to 1-2. Here's a pitch from Thomas, that's low. As the count's now even at 2-2. And just high, counts full at 3-2. That pitch was a slider. And outside, ball 4. Actually called a strikeout. He's running the first. And he'll be safe. As Jacob Guerrero gets on with the wild pitch. Called for a strike. As Gamble couldn't hold on to the ball. As we won on with 1 out for Davis. Here's the check at first, and the tag going to be safe. As will be the shortstop Ramirez to the plate with 1 out. And that's high. As Davis started the game with 5 strikeouts. Now struggling to find the zone. That's high. And check at first. As Guerrero's going to be safe. As that'll be strikeout number 6 for Thomas. And that's high, 3-0. And curveball, ball 4. Guerrero taking about third, stays at second. As we runners on first and second, just 1 out. As Thomas is losing his command. As I bring up the left fielder, Cesar Otero to the plate. And here's a pitch right down the middle for strike 1. Looked at second, throws to second, and the tag is just not in time. As Guerrero's able to get back in. Count still 0-1. Looking to bunt. And curveball right on the edge for strike 2. As Thomas is ahead in the count. And inside 1-2. And change up in there for strike 3. And that's strikeout number 7 for Thomas, 2 away. Runners on first and second.
Let's go.
As that pitch is low. So I'll bring up Jose Rangel to the plate, second baseman. And looks at second, no throw. And swing and a miss for strike 1. Blew it past him with the fastball. Counts at 1-1. And at the letters for strike 2. Thomas ahead in the count. Looks back at second. Here's the pitch. And slider just outside. Counts even. And outside counts 4 at 3-2. Thomas looks back at second. Here's the pitch and thought about going to second. As he'll get back on the mound with a full count at 3-2. Runner to go in the third, and everybody be safe as how people all 4. And it'll be bases loaded with 2 outs. Let's now bring up Sebastian Argueta. As Thomas got in the bases loaded to jam last inning, can he get out of this one? And gets past the catcher. Runner coming home, and he's going to be safe, and it's going to be now 2-0 Davis over Eisenhower on the wild pitch. As the count be 1-0 as the runner scores. And that's fouled back as counts 1-1. And that's low. Catcher able to block that one. So make the count 2-1. And swing and a miss. What a filthy curveball. Counts even at 2-2. And that's low. Gets past the catcher. And thankfully rolls down the third base line. Unable to get the runner to advance. Full count at 3-2. Here's the pitch, and that's high ball 4. And now load the bases once again.
Hey, we got 2 out, man. Hey, 3. We got 2 out. 3.
As I'll bring Murphy to the plate with 2 outs and bases loaded. Chance for more damage for Davis. Thomas is ready. Here's a pitch. And that's just below the knees, but called a strike as it's 0-1. And that's going to be a call the ball. That's going to be 1-1. And that's low. Good block by Gamble at the plate. Here's a 2-1. And curveball finds the edge for strike 2. Counts even. Great pitch by Thomas. Chance to escape the jam with just 1 run in the inning. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss, strike 3. And touches home without in the inning. Strikeout number 8 for Thomas. Gets out of the jam, just allows 1 run as Davis extends its lead to 2-0. As we'll head to the 4th here on Vype Live. You're at the top of the 4th as Davis leads it 2-0 over Eisenhower. William Scott in his 4th inning of work. As counts 1-0. Pitch on the inside. And that's right down the middle with the fastball for strike one. And that's a fly ball, going to go out of play and foul. Counts 1-2. Here's the pitch. And that's a fly ball in the right field. And that's going to drop in for a single. As Rico Glenn gets on with a leadoff single for Eisenhower. As I'll bring up to Dominic Horace to the plate, the first baseman. Here's the pitch from Scott. And that's high, 1-0. And right down the middle for strike one with the fastball. And that's high and outside. Counts at 2-1. And swing and a miss. As counts even at 2-2. Here's a 2-2, and inside counts full. And that's at the knees for strike three. As it looked kind of low, but called a strikeout. As it'll be one away for Eisenhower here at the top of the fourth. As I'll bring up center fielder Bryce Nelson to the plate. One out and one runner on. And swing and a miss as he swung at a high fastball. Here's the 0-1. And right down the middle for strike two. And swing and a miss for strike three, two away. Two strikeouts in the inning for Scott. And make that 8 outs, 8 strikeouts in a row the last 2 innings. Here's the pitch. And that's outside. To Ariel Villa. And that's high, 2-0. Here's a pitch from Scott. And right at the knees for strike one. Here's a 2-1. And swing and a miss. Blew it past him with the fastball for strike two. As counts even. Scott is ready. Here's a pitch. And right down the middle for strike three. And for the third inning in a row, Julian Scott strikes out the side. And he's in double-digit strikeouts for the game. As we'll head to the bottom of the fourth, as Davis still leads it 2-0 over Eisenhower. And we're here at the bottom of the fourth as Davis leads it 2-0 over Eisenhower. Thomas back on the mound for his fourth inning of work. And that's a fly ball in the right center field. And that's going to be caught for out number one. Sounds Rico Glenn on the catch. And they'll bring the pitcher Scott to the plate. With one away here in the bottom of the fourth. Here's a pitch from Thomas. And that's low. As count be 1-0. And that's hit hard and fouled away. Hit that one to the Davis dugout. As count be 1-1. And that's high. Gets past the catcher. As I make the count 2-1. And that's high, 3-1. Hitters count to Scott. Thomas is ready. Here's a pitch and curveball, ball 4. As Scott will take his base. Runner on first with 1 out for Davis. As I'll bring up Flores to the plate. Thomas is ready, checks first. Gets the tag down, but he's going to be safe. Checks first once again, no tag. Thought about checking once again, takes time. Flores back in the box, and that pitch is outside, and the count be 1-0. And that's hit hard in the right field. And Rico Glenn is there for out number 2. And that'll be 2 away for Davis. As I'll bring up Guerrero to the plate. 1 on with 2 outs. And that's a ball. Runner goes to second. As Julian Scott gets a stolen base. Now runner in scoring position with 2 outs. As counts 1-0. It's back at second. Here's the pitch. That's high. And Scott will easily get the third. Counts 2-0. As we've seen Thomas's command take a spike these last 2 innings. Two-0 count with a runner on third and 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and right down the middle with the fastball, 2-1. And that's low. Hitters count 3-1. Here's the pitch. And curveball, that's low. And it'll be runners in the corners with 2 outs. And curveball in there for a strike. Counts 0-1 to Ramirez. And curveball right down the middle for strike 2. As Guerrero will go to second easily. And it's called a balk. And Julian Scott will touch home plate. Now make it 3-0 Davis. And that's outside, counts 1-1. And Guerrero makes it the third. As to make it 3-0. Davis after the balk. Counts 1-1 to Ramirez. Here's the pitch. And inside counts 1 and 2.
Let's go. Beat.
Here's 1-2. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss for strike 3. Strikeout number 9 for Thomas of the game. As Davis gets another run on the clock as they lead it 3-0 as we'll head to the top of the 5th here on Vype Live. As we're here in the top of the 5th as Davis leads it 3-0 over Eisenhower. Scott back on the mound for his 5th inning of work as that pitch is right down the middle for a strike. And swing and a miss for strike 2. The catcher Gamble at the plate. And swing and a miss for strike 3. That's 1 away. As Scott continues his dominance on the mound. Ten straight strikeouts for Julian Scott. That's high. And that is just outside 2-0. And swing and a miss for strike one. And that hits him. As Vasquez will take his base with one out. As he'll bring up Garcia to the plate. As Scott comes back to the mound. Vasquez up to the plate. Runner on first, one out. Here's the bunt attempt, that's high. And Scott back on the mound. He's ready. Vasquez back in the box. Counts 1-0, one out. Runner on first. Vasquez with a bunt attempt. And fouls that one. And I'm going to say it's 2-0. Guess that one went off the catcher's glove. Going to say he holds back on the bunt. Counts 2-0. Scott looks back at second. Here's the pitch, and that's in there for a strike. Make it 2-1. And swing and a miss. Chase that one. Counts even at 2-2. As he went after the elevated fastball. And swing and a miss, strike three. And make it 11 strikeouts in a row. 2 outs. And they'll bring up the pitcher, Nick Thomas, to the plate. With the runner on second, 2 outs. Scott is ready on the mound. Great performance by both pitchers tonight. Ton of strikeouts. And having problems with some of the baseballs. Yeah, Scott back on the mound. Thomas in the box. And that's grounded. Throw the first from third base is in time for out number 3. Good throw by Flores from third base. And now in the inning as we'll head to bottom of the 5th. Davis still leads it 3-0. As we're here at the bottom of the 5th, Davis still leads it 3-0 over Eisenhower. New pitcher on the mound for Eisenhower, as it's Adrian Amencia. Check that, Adrian Amencia. As that's just high 1-0. And swing and a miss for strike one. As it counts 1-1 to Macias. And that's high. As I'll make it 2-1. And that's high, 3-1. And outside, ball 4, leadoff walk for Davis. And I'll bring up Julian Scott to the plate. Ameniza looks at first. Here's a pitch. And that's outside. Runner goes to second. Counts 1-0. Here's the pitch to Scott, and that's in there for a strike. And foul back, counts 1 and 2. And that's low. Runner gets caught in the pickle. No throw. Here's the throw to second. And he is going to be safe. As he gets back on second. As the count's still 2 and 2. Here's the 2-2. And foul back. As Rongale stays alive. And that hits him. And runners on first and second. Still no outs. As he'll bring up Arguda to the plate. That's popped in the air and going to be out of play and into the trees. As he'll make an 0-1. Runners on first and second. No outs. Here's the pitch. And that's low. 1-1. And that's low. Gets past Gamble. Both runners advance. There'll be runners on second and third. No outs. Big opportunity here for Davis. Counts 2-1. Here's the pitch. And that's softly grounded. It's fair. Runner holds at third and going to advance to home. And they'll make it 4-0 as the Falcons extend their lead. And they'll bring Murphy to the plate. Here's the pitch from Almaniza, and that's high. One away, runner on third. And that hits him. Runners in the corners with 1 out. As we're back at the top of the order with the center fielder Macias at the plate. And we're going to have a meeting on the mound. Macias to the plate. Amaniza's pitch is low, 1-0. Runner advances to second. And inside, 2-0. Here's a 2-0. And that's low. Gamble looks for the ball. Count will go to 3-0. And Meniza's ready. That pitch is low. Runner coming to home. And he's easily going to score. Now make it 5-0. And going to second base. It'll be runners on second and third. Just one out. Make it 5-0 Davis over Eisenhower. And what a job by the Falcons to capitalize this inning. As they'll bring up Julian Scott. And Meniza is ready. Here's the pitch. And that's low. And fouled that one back. Good hack by Scott. Counts 1-1 to Scott. Amaniza is ready. Here's a pitch. And that's high. 2-0. And that's low. 3-1. And that's grounded past Amaniza. And no throw. So all runners are safe and another runner will score. And now make it 6-0 Davis. And once again, runners in the corners, just one out. Flores to the plate, that's low. As Scott easily gets a second. And that's low, 2-0. Game getting out of hand for Eisenhower. And that's high, 3-0. And that's in there for a strike. Counts 3-1. Hitters count the Flores. And that's low ball, 4 bases loaded, 1 out. And they'll bring up Guerrera to the plate. And one big swing could end this game with the run rule. Bases loaded, 1 out. With the first baseman Guerrero to the plate. Here's a pitch. And that's in there for a strike. And that's hit into center field. That's going to score 2 runs. And that'll make it 8-0 Davis High School. Two-run single by Guerrero. And it's 8-0 Davis over Eisenhower, with still just 1 out. You're at the bottom of the 5th. As I'll bring up Ramirez to the plate. Runner going to third. Thought about going. Goes back to second. Here's a 1-0. That's low. As counts 1-1. Swing and a miss. As counts now 1-2. Meneza is ready. Here's a pitch. And that's hit hard in the left field, and that's going to hook foul. Here's a pitch, and fouled away. Ramirez stays alive. Count still 1-2. Meneza is ready. Here's the pitch. Runner's going and pops this one. And it's going to go out of play as Ramirez stays alive. Looks at second, no throw. Here's the 1-2 runner going to third. And both runners advance. I'll make it a 2-2 count. And a base hit could end this game. And that's high, 3-2. Three-two count. Here's a pitch. That's low. Ball 4. Runner coming home. And that'll make it 9-0. And it'll be runners on second and third as he goes to second. With just 1 out and 1 more run will end this game. And that's to be Cesar Otero to the plate with the winning run at third base. And that pitch is low, and the runner comes home, and that will do it as Davis High School win this game with a score of 10-0 as they win on a run roll. And after a pitcher's duel to start the game between Nick Thomas and Julian Scott, dominant outing by both pitchers as Davis led it 3-0. And as it comes into the bottom of the fifth, score 7 to win the game on a run roll. As the final score is Davis High School 10, Eisenhower 0. As I'll do it for Justin Barbosa here on Vype Live. The winning pitcher is Julian Scott for Davis High School. And have a great night, everybody, as the final score for the final time is Davis 10, Eisenhower 0. As thank you for watching here on Vype Live.